Internal bypass shocks are being seen more than ever in the off-road industry. In our last episode, we talked about external bypass shocks. These have large tubes running along the outside of the body and can be adjusted externally. But over the last several years, internal bypass shocks have exploded in popularity. Today, you'll find internal bypass shocks on everything from high-end UTVs, 4800 race cars, and daily driven vehicles. Their ability to provide excellent ride quality and bottom-out control within a single shock has made them a popular choice. Just like external bypass shocks, the goal is the same. An internal bypass shock is designed to create different zones at different points throughout the shock travel. Instead of relying on external bypass tubes mounted outside the shock body, an internal bypass shock creates these damping zones inside the shock itself. Inside the shock is a secondary housing that contains Radflo's dynamic ride technology, or DRT. Rather than relying on external bypass tubes to create multiple damping zones, DRT uses a series of internally integrated bypass valves that allow the shock to precisely control damping throughout the suspension travel. As the piston moves throughout the stroke, it interacts with these valves, allowing the shock to deliver different damping characteristics at different points throughout the travel. Engineers can configure these valves as open, closed, or checked, depending on the vehicle's intended use or performance objectives. When the piston is traveling through a section where bypass valves are open, oil can flow around the piston more easily. This reduces damping force and allows the suspension to move freely over small bumps, chatter, and rough terrain. As the suspension moves deeper into the stroke, those bypass circuits begin to close. Once closed, oil is forced through the primary piston valving rather than bypassing around it. This dramatically increases damping force, providing greater stability, impact control, and bottom-out resistance when the vehicle encounters larger obstacles, G-outs, whoops, or aggressive terrain. One of the biggest advantages of internal bypass technology is packaging. Because all of the bypass features are contained within the shock body, there are no external tubes mounted to the outside. This allows the spring to be packaged around the shock, eliminating the need for a separate coilover and bypass combination. As a result, internal bypass shocks are often easier to fit into tight suspension systems where space is limited. They have also become a popular solution for racing classes and vehicle platforms that require a single shock per corner. That packaging advantage is one of the many reasons why OEM manufacturers have adopted internal bypass technology into factory off-road vehicles. However, there are some trade-offs. External bypass shocks generally offer a higher level of adjustability and tuning flexibility. Individual tubes can be adjusted independently, allowing suspension tuners to make precise changes to specific compression and rebound zones externally. One common misconception is that internal bypass shocks are locked into a predetermined damping curve. While some internal bypass designs offer limited adjustability and rely heavily on their original port configuration, Radflo internal bypass shocks can provide a tremendous amount of tuning flexibility. At Radflo, our DRT internal bypass technology allows tuners to tailor damping characteristics to specific vehicle, terrain, and performance goals. Through changes to bypass configuration, valving, and the overall shock setup, the damping zones can be tuned much like a traditional bypass shock. This gives builders and tuners the ability to create a suspension package that ranges from comfortable trail performance to aggressive race applications while still maintaining the packaging advantages of an internal bypass design. While the tuning process differs from an external bypass shock, the end goal remains the same: creating precise damping control throughout the suspension travel to maximize performance, stability, and ride quality. We currently offer these in 2.5 and 3.0 sizes. If you're looking for a specialized package for your race car, UTV, or daily driven vehicle, give us a call at Radflo and we'll get you dialed.